I think the obvious question here is, does Taila even have a chance?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I don't know a whole lot about Taila, but I think I've seen her fight a few times. But Valentina, she's so good, and she's so technical, and I just don't see her losing for a while. Especially at flyweight. Like, she's gone up to 35, and she's had competitive fights with Amanda Nunes and things like that, where people think some of the fights were controversial or thought that possibly she won. They were just such close fights, but she can compete with anybody. And going back to like what you and I were talking about, it's like anything can happen in a fight, but I think 9 out of 10 times Valentina wins. I think she wins this fight as well. She's just at the top of her game right now.
I mean, if we were to go simply off of the rankings, it seems as though they've just kind of run out of people to give Valentina, and her fights, just simply based on the rankings, get progressively easier. She's already beat contenders 1 through 3. She's on number 4. She will probably just make her way through, or do you think they'll kind of revisit 1 through 3? How do you think it'll go?
I don't know. I feel like things are always constantly changing, and maybe there's someone that's in the UFC right now and they just have a breakthrough fight, and then they get into the top 10 or top 5, and then that's her next opponent. But it's and maybe she bounces around and goes back up to 35, depending on what happens with Nunes and Pena. You know what I mean? If Pena gets the job done, then maybe Valentina jumps back up to try to become like a champ, at 35, and have a fight against her.
I mean, I agree with you on that. I think Valentina made a smart move dropping down to the 125. I feel like she's going to be the reigning champion at that division. There is talent there, but I do feel like if Valentina came up back to 135, that's where her challenges are really going to be at. Like I said, I don't want to take away from any of the girls and whatnot, and stepping into the octagon it's tough for anybody, and everybody deserves their credit. But at the end of the day, Valentina is a human. She's not invincible. So anything can happen, as we've seen with Amanda, Ronda Rousey. That's exactly what happens. So if she's caught on an off night, then sure. But for me, I feel like Valentina just has a style to her that, she's so patient. She's so calculated. It's interesting, before, when she first came to the UFC, her style would actually drive me nuts, because I was like, oh my gosh, why isn't this chick just hitting? Why isn't she doing something? She would just wait. And then she would get beautiful takedowns. She would land solid punches. She would place her kicks beautifully. But it was just here and there and here and there. And it was just oh, do more. And it's because, like I said, as an athlete or as a fan, you can see the talent. So I want to just see her perform more. But she has that calculated style that has gotten her all these wins and doing exactly what she needs to do. So I do feel like it's kind of that situation to where they have to fill that spot. And so they're filling it. But I think Valentina will definitely come out with the win again.
All right, question for you guys to vote on. Will the winner hang or wear her flag in the cage after the win? Yes or no? Vote now.